Hey, my name is Alex, and this is my 1997 Pontiac Bonneville. Had a heating problem. Wasn't blowing any cold air on my feet. So had to be one of two things with a little internet research. And that was one, heater core, which it turned out to be, or number two, the blend door actuator, the dreaded blend door actuator, which I went for first, foolishly enough. So not a lot of people have posted anything about this, so I thought I might. So here you go. If it is the blend door actuator, it's a pain in the butt. If you want to think it's a home job, then give it a shot. And it's a series of bolts on removing the dash from the sides through the glove box on the left side or passenger side, and also right there through the driver's side. Once you get those out, then you've got bolts here, here, there, and one more on the other side under that panel that gets taken off, and you can remove the dash. There's your blend door actuator, and the the two bolts that you take it off with are pretty ready to see. Once you get this little unit out, you can take the top box off of this thing after you remove the little white arm by prying it up, and you can check all the little plastic gears in there and see if that is the culprit. If it is, they're about 150 bucks. It's pretty easy to replace once you get all this crap out of the way and have your variety of fasteners laying all over the floor with your little pry bars and whatnot. Pretty simple, just a huge pain in the butt and a gigantic amount of time. If you find out, like I did, that it is not your blend door actuator and it is your heater core, you can do a reverse flush. Those two are pretty easy. Access to that is pretty simple on the Bonneville. You get those right down in here. Here is the coolant hose as it comes out of the back of the engine block behind your alternator. Hot on top, cold on the bottom, and you do a reverse flush. You take these guys out of their fittings at the back of the engine block here and back in there, and you pour some CLR in there, and you use a air compressor, and you go from cold to hot this time, and you back flush it out. And my brilliant system was one of those for the hot tube to go down into, and then I happen to have a fitting on my air chuck here where once I unscrewed, get a better angle here. Once I unscrewed this little guy, this brass fitting fit perfectly inside the cold fitting down in there, and I was able to back flush it out, and mud came out of that thing. And it's more common than you might think. This baby is 16 years old, but she only has 27,000 miles on it. It was Grandma's car. She gifted it to me, and I'm finding little issues here and there. I thought I would post this one on there for you. So there it is. If it's not the blend door actuator, which is the worst job in the world to get to, if it's not that little guy in there, well, then it could be your heater core. And your heater core doesn't have to be corroded and look terrible. Mine look brand new, absolutely brand new inside. But the inside of that little radiator is just metal, and it was just totally gunked up. If that gets gunked up, nothing circulates through this part of the circuit. You just have back pressure or positive pressure in both of these tubes. Nothing goes in that. And so it just basically, the engine bypasses that, and the coolant just goes from the engine block through the radiator, back into the engine block, through the radiator, and nothing is flowing into your heater core. So back flush it out, use some CLR, let that sit for an hour or so, flush it out, and then you should be good to go. Thanks for watching.